The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mosen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mosen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mosen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mosen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is... Okay, let me start again. Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout-out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mosen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mian Mosen Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mosen Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mian Mosen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. And heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And also support the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Make sure you give generously. Also, don't forget to support us on Anchor FM/support and PayPal. Also, you can check our gift ideas, including T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and more. Go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/MeandMosenzia for some great books and great gift ideas, including Missing and More, Amazon.com/MiaMosensia. Make sure you order today. We're here with a terrific author who's got a book right now and lives in Michigan and currently active in local theater and film. He's an inspiring writer and asking life's questions and simply just all about life and just all about, a question is there a reason for being? Why are we fearful? How can we know our destiny? What's a cure for racism and hate? And a lot of questions that seem to be answered in a simple little book, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios somewhere in beautiful Michigan, the very, very talented author of Midnight Musings, William James. William, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me here.
Well, it's great to have you on board as well, too, William. So you've been living in Michigan for quite some time. You're an active in local theater and film. You're basically an aspiring writer who asks life questions, as we mentioned. You have a book called Midnight Musings, which is on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and it's available. And, of course, I guess there's also a lot of questions that just simply need to be answered about destiny, life, and, just things in general, how to be happy, and just thought-provoking. It just simply answers life questions. And before getting to all that, William, tell us how I first got started.
Well, I mean, it goes back to when Hector was a pup, I suppose. I've been around the block a few times, like most of us. I started writing in high school, and my English teacher, I guess you could say I was one of her favorites because that's about the only class I excelled in.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote my first piece in her class, and there's kind of a story that goes behind that, but she didn't think I wrote it, and she was rather angry with me.
Oh, no.
Thought I had plagiarized, And when she found out that I hadn't, she indicated that I really had a gift and that I should continue to write.
Mm-hmm.
And, time goes, and I kind of dropped off the writing platform for quite a while, but picked it up again many years later. Started a couple college courses at the behest of my nephew, and the English teacher there, he was kind of responsible for, how would you say this, turning on the light in my mind that had gone dark a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't written in years. And I've been writing ever since, actually.
Mm-hmm. And also, too, what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your life? So what was that one moment that simply said, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my career?
Wow. Well, I guess I would have to say that, it wasn't exactly a happy moment, but sometimes that's how things come about. A friend of mine, when I was a teenager, he ended his own life.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, very, very, very nice young fella, and he, well, let's just say he made use of a gun. So, I was grief-stricken. I was only about 17, and I didn't know what to do with all of these emotions and whatnot. So, what I did is I just sat down and started to write. And excuse me, I wrote, it was my first poem ever, which, well, it's in the book as well, but it's called Time's Essence.
Mm-hmm.
And it talked about, because it really drove the point home to me that, we have a certain amount of time given to us in life, and we need to use it, properly. And it was at that point when I wrote the poem that I realized I had a penchant for writing.
Okay. Wow.
And it was very helpful to me personally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And over the years, I wrote quite a bit on and off, but it was always kind of self-therapeutic for me. It was like a purge, if you will, because it would help to get my thoughts out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And who are some of your favorite authors and writers growing up, William?
Well, I enjoy a lot of the philosophers, like Nietzsche and oh goodness, there's so many of them. Excuse me, Carl Jung. But oddly enough, I also, which is completely away from the type of writing I do, if you can believe this, I am a huge fan of Stephen King.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The man he's a genius.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could write like he does.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of your favorite books by Stephen King?
I'm sorry?
What were some of your favorite books by Stephen King, or was that one favorite?
Oh, good Lord. The Dark Tower saga, which is just incredible. And that was prefaced by, if you want to read the saga proper, The Talisman and Black House. And I think perhaps, though, and I mean, there's my Lord, there's Under the Dome. But I think one of the, if not the most favorite book that I've I've read by him is The Stand.
Okay.
And I read that in actuality. It's very rare I reread any book, but The Stand I read 4 times.
Wow.
Yeah, because and it's over a period of years, of course, but the book doesn't change, but we change, and our perceptions change, and our view of things changes. Therefore, each time I've read the book, because I've become a bit different, the characters themselves, their personalities to me have changed because I look at them differently. The storyline, I pick up nuances and what have you that I never picked up on before, because I'm different,
Mm-hmm.
and that, and I guess one of the, it's a bit macabre, I suppose, but one of the main reasons I've always been attracted to The Stand is because it's, not to sound fatalistic, but it's something that could happen.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm.
Not like the Tommy knockers or anything like that. So.
Right. And of course, I think that makes sense as well, too, especially in these times. And we'll talk more about your book, Midnight Musings, your interest in local theater and film in just 1 minute. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout-out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war-ring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartradio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, and heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Make sure you give generously. Also, show your support on Anchor FM/support, and also on PayPal. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/The Mike Wagner Show for pop sockets, hoodies, T-shirts, and more. And for more great gift ideas, including hoodies, phone cases, and a lot more, go to Amazon.com/Me and Most and Zia. Check out his books. Go to the Me and Most and Zia store on Amazon.com, and make sure you check it out today. We're here with the author of Midnight Musings, William James, here on the Mike Wagner Show, who grew up in Michigan, and you're active in local theater and film, William, and tell us more about that.
Yeah, I've done some theater and some film. There's private film, and there's actually community theater. But the community theater I did, I think it was probably the most enjoyable time of my whole life. There's very few things that I like more than writing. And the theater, sometimes I wonder, what might have happened had I stayed the course on that, because that was tremendously fulfilling.
Mm-hmm. And were you looking to venture into the acting field, or go to Hollywood or anything like that, or even Broadway?
No. No, that the theater was actually something that I did it in order to help my brother out of a situation, because he is an actor for sure and for certain, and they needed somebody to take someone's place that had dropped out, and I was terrified of speaking in front of anybody, and the only reason I did it was to help him, and well, excuse me. After I got over my fear, I found out how much I truly, truly enjoyed it. And I had people at the end of the dinner theater coming up to me and asking me, what other plays have you been in? And I was like, well, this is my first. And they're like, no, there's no way. And I said, well, yeah, and it was so rewarding, because I affected lives, and they really enjoyed the performance over the cast overall, but of my performance as well.
And of course, affecting lives in great ways. Let's talk about your book, Midnight Musings. That's out on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and other stores where you can find it. And tell us more about the book, Midnight Musings, and what inspired you to write it.
Well, the book, Midnight Musings, what transpired, I had, like I say, I had stepped away from writing for quite some time, and then I had got back into it. Maybe it was because there was a lot going on in my life, and so I was writing a lot. And what began to happen, I managed a shop up here. It was a automotive maintenance shop, and I'm pretty friendly fella, and I like to talk, and I think that's my dad's responsible for that. He's a rambler, and the folks, my customers, I got to know them real well, and so they would come in, and I'd walk up to their door of the car and, hey, how are you? And sometimes, how you can just, when somebody, something's not right. And you would get that feeling, and I didn't want to be intrusive or nosy. So after I greeted them, I simply would go over to the computer at work and I'd say, well, they need something, some type of positive vibe here. But I sure don't know what it is. And I just kind of look up at the ceiling, and to the heavens and say, all right, well, I don't know, Lord, so you must know. So whatever it is, give me something to give them. And invariably something would come to mind, a piece that I had written, and sometimes I'd look up and say, seriously, that's what they need, you know? And I wouldn't question it. I'd just print it out, and I'd walk back to their car and say, here you go. Here's just something for your day, you know? And I never said anything else about it. And what began happening, Mike, is people started coming back, sometimes within their 3-month interval on service. A lot of times they'd come back the very next day. And what began to happen is people started saying two things. They said, number one, how did you know I needed that particular piece? And I tell them, well, I didn't know, but obviously somebody did.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, and they're like, oh, okay. And then they began to tell me, you know, or ask me, I say, well, you know, have you published? And I'm like, well, no, of course not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just always wrote for me. And, you know, enough people began to tell me that what I needed to do is to put these writings out there because people needed to hear this thing, you know, hear these things. And it took a bit because I've got some Scottish blood in me, you know, known to be stubborn. So, but I finally started looking into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was over the course of, in actuality, over 2 years after this started happening at work, that I wound up, you know, casting about for a publisher and and thinking of the title. I was like, well, gosh, what do I make for a title? I've never done this before. And like so many folks, I worked a lot. I worked an average about 70 hours a week. And so my time for writing, well, 90% of the pieces in the book were written from around 10 at night till 2 in the morning.
Wow.
You know, by the time you write and then you edit and everything else, you know, all of a sudden it's 2 o'clock and it's like, good Lord, I got to get up in 5 hours to go to work. But I had so much energy while I was writing, you know, because I loved it. And so then I thought, as far as title, I thought it just kind of jumped into my mind. Well, Midnight Musings. I mean, it's an honest title,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So that's how the title came about. So, excuse me.
Mm-hmm. And of course, too, you also ask such questions like, is there a reason for being? Why are we often so fearful? How can we know our destiny? And or some funny ones. Cadbury, anyone? Or do you hear what I hear? And you can't take it with you. Nelson Mandela. And I mean, just reading some of the ideas on there, and maybe just touch on some of those. And also, what inspired you to you know, ask questions about is there a reason for being? Why this? Why that? And reasons. It's like, you know, what inspired you to you know, have all these questions?
Well, you mentioned a reason for being. You know, each and every one of us, there's a reason that we showed up here. You know, and with the world the way it is, even before it got so crazy, you know, we're constantly running. We seem to, well, we don't seem to, we forget that we are actually here for a purpose. Mm-hmm. And we're too busy, you know, running on the wheel, the little hamster wheel. And, you know, we forget after a while. Excuse me. There is a reason for being. Like for myself, you know, I've found that, and there's probably some other things too, but, you know, my reason for being, at least one of the main ones, is to write and to share these kind of things with folks. I've had people, which is the greatest compliment that anyone can ever get in any arena of life. You know, I've had folks tell me that this book, it changed their life. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's like, wow, you know, I affected somebody. So, but I mean, there's, well, like you mentioned, there's a variety of pieces in the book. One of them, like you mentioned, is Nelson Mandela. He was a hero of mine, you know, and almost everything I've written is because of something that's happened in my own life. Well, the day that I found out he passed away, you know, I sat down that evening to write, and I thought, gosh, I would like to honor this fella. And you know, what happened that evening was something I never could have anticipated. And I hate sounding cosmic or anything, but it was like he was right in the room with me.
Huh.
And I was angry about the 27 years that he gave up when he was in prison, you know, and in that evening at home, as I was writing this, you know, when I thought about those 27 years, I heard him say in my mind, well, 27 years was not much at all, and I would do it again, you know, and in the course of writing, I don't know how all this came about. I just kind of went with it. It was though he took my hand, and when he did, I could see all of the atrocities of apartheid and everything else, and it caused tears to come to my eyes, you know, and then he let go of my hand, and I was back in the room again, and he said, "Do you see why now I sacrificed what I did?" You know, and I mean, it was an experience I'll never forget. It was just me, myself, and I, and the spirit of Nelson, I guess, you know, in the room.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry?
I said, go ahead. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think we're trying to get a connection here. We're with William James of Midnight Musings here on the Mike Wagner Show, and I guess one of the things I saw in there that it was on Amazon, it says, "If I were a dog, what kind of dog would I be?" And my question is, if you were a dog, what kind of dog would you be?
Well, yeah, that piece was actually written when I started taking those college classes, and the professor that, you know, brought me back into the writing world, and that question came up in class, and we had to write a piece on, if you were a dog, what kind of dog would you be? And you know, I thought about various ones, you know, but then I thought about all of the attributes of those dogs, you know, what was expected of them, and at the end of the day, I decided that a lot of people probably don't know what that term is nowadays, but perhaps they do. I decided that a Heinz 57 was the dog of choice for me. You know,
and many of us, yes.
Yeah, it was an embodiment of all the other qualities of all the other dogs. You know? So the intelligence of the Doberman, the loyalty of the Cocker Spaniel, and so on and so on. You know, I was like, oh, this is the best of all worlds right here.
Huh. And that's rather interesting. And also, too, there's also a bunch of chapters everybody can check out. And where can we find Midnight Musings at, William?
Well, it is. It's available on a few different venues. Amazon is one, and that seems to be where folks gravitate to most of the time. But also on Google Play and the Barnes & Noble website. There's another one that I haven't tapped into much personally, but it's called Kudo, Kudo. Mm-hmm. Those are the four mains, I guess you could say.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds pretty good. And we'll find out what's coming up in 2021 for author William James and more. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, International warring author Musings of Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with author William Thompson of Midnight Musings after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, where The Mike Wagner Show interviews great guests, cool conversation, lots of laughs, coffee, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're back with author William James here on the Mike Wagner Show with his book, Midnight Musings. And, of course, you know, a lot of great inspiration out of that book, and learned a lot and as well, too, with all kinds of tidbits and more. You can go to Amazon.com and check out Midnight Musings with William James. And, you know, just a few more things, William. What can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond?
Well, 2021 and beyond. Well, I'm presently working on the second edition of Midnight Musings. You know, I suppose the beauty of a book like that is you can dovetail it, for lack of a better word, into another volume, and at the same time knowing that you're being of benefit to folks. So I have a number of ideas written down for various pieces for the second volume. You know, and if God is good, I can follow the tradition of chicken soup for the soul or something. You know, that helps a lot of people. Additionally, I've got a children's book in the works.
Nice.
And I've been working on that one for a little bit. That I figured children's book was going to be the simplest thing I could ever do, and boy, was I wrong. I'll tell you, it's very difficult. Because children are they're very honest, and they're very telling, you know. But I'm working on that. It's about Sigmund. He's a snail, and you know, not to give the book away, but he's snails are inherently slow, and so Sigmund had a real problem with self-esteem. That's as much as I'm going to say on that.
Okay.
But I'm working on that now. And also there's another book that's almost done. I think is probably relevant for this time in our world. It is called By the People, For the People, a view of all that's right with the government today.
And of course, can't wait for that to come out. And when can we expect your books to come out?
Well, I'll be honest, the children's book is probably another year in the making.
Okay.
I'm casting about for a publisher for the By the People, For the People book within the next month. So, and there is one other little venue I'm starting out with. something way out of my comfort zone, but that's okay because that's how we grow, right?
Right, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I'm starting a YouTube channel.
Ooh.
Yeah, the it's going to be based on Midnight Musings because that will allow me to go into several different areas. But one of the main messages that I'll be talking about is something that we really need in this world, I believe, and I'm sure you believe, is on the subject of return to values. That's what we need in this country.
Yes, that is very, very clear on that one. And we're looking forward to more talking about that and in your book with William James here on the Mike Wagner Show. And William, who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
My biggest influence?
Correct.
Whew. Well, I'd have to say right off top, and I know not everybody will agree with it nowadays, but one of my biggest influences is Jesus Christ, and I believe strongly in what he has to say. As far as just general folks, the Stephen King is one. He's a heavy influencer in his dedication to writing and everything else that affects me a lot. And this gentleman that I'm going to mention has gone away, of course, but Ronald Reagan. I have a deep and abiding respect for the man. He's a fellow of deep integrity. And then on a more local level, I suppose you could say, my folks have been a tremendous influence on my life, my whole life. Now, my mom, she passed on, about 3 years ago now, and my dad, he was 90 years young. Well, he just left us in December. So, but his ability to write, I suppose you could say, that I guess that's where I got it from.
And that's
because he wrote his whole life. He had a blog for a while called Food for Thought, and he would publish things that they were designed to help people. He was very dedicated to it. Tremendous respect for that fellow, my pop.
That is quite interesting. I love that. Once again, William James, author of Midnight Musings here on the Mike Wagner Show. William, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your book?
Well, Mike, I thank you for having me on here. It's been more than a pleasure. I'll tell you that. And you're, it's easy to tell you're a man of integrity yourself.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And if you want to tell everybody once again, where can people find your book? What's your website? And how can people purchase and check out your book?
Well, I'm ashamed to say I don't have a website.
It's okay. At least tell us where you can get the book at, because I'm sure there'll be people texting me. It's like, where can we find this book at? So.
Well, it'll be on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. It's all online, of course. That's how the world is. And Kudo and Google Play, and it's also for those folks with an iPhone. You can get it on the electronic version. But it's available in hardcover, and it's available in the paperback, and also available in the electronic venue.
Okay. All right. And we're certainly looking forward to it. Once again, William, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing and inspiring. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor. Keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to keep in touch. You've been absolutely terrific.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Mike. That means a lot, because I'm not I'm a talker, but I'm not a speaker. Let's put it that way.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host, And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, Custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.